I think it's always nice to check out devices we don't always get in the United States. Today we're checking out the Redmi Note 15 5G. I paid just over $250 for mine, but I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. It comes with 256 gigabytes of storage. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM. Best part is this only weighs 178 grams, which is lighter than most other phones that I've used the last couple years. It also takes a micro SD card. It also has a built-in IR blaster. Pretty nice that the case is included. Looks like pretty nice quality. Yeah, you can tell this phone is super lightweight. Kind of a throwback how the screen is curved here on the sides. Reminds me of some of the older Samsung phones. Actually, a lot of phones back then. I believe this one has 4 years of major software updates, 6 years of security updates. So quite a bit better than some of the other more affordable brands like Motorola, but not quite as good as Samsung when it comes to software updates. You've got the option of fingerprint or a face unlock during setup, and of course pattern pin or password. It does feel like the fingerprint scanner is just a little bit lower than what you would see on Samsung phones. Looks like they also have a different font choice there as well. You can also choose between with an app drawer or without. I still think it's faster using buttons, but I know most people probably are using gestures. I think they do a pretty nice job here as far as the wallpaper and just how the home screen looks. It's got a 6.77-inch AMOLED display at 1080 by 2392 resolution and up to 3200 nits peak brightness. The software on here seems pretty smooth overall. It kind of has that iPhone feel to it, sort of mixed with Android. It's currently on HyperOS 2, Android 15. Looks like it's using about 36 gigabytes of the 256 available. Of course, it's doing updates, so that's probably going to be a little bit less. I think the screen quality on here actually looks pretty nice in person. Nice and dark blacks, good contrast, pretty good viewing angles as well. You can also choose between 60 or 120 Hz refresh rate. Looks like there is a software update, might as well go ahead and do that. One downside is you can see they do install quite a few extra apps like games, AliExpress, Facebook, Instagram, which of course you can uninstall if you want. Not gonna lie, that actually does feel pretty smooth. Scrolling up and down on that curved edge. You've got Google Discover newsfeed left of the home screen. If you swipe down anywhere, it actually has an app finder or where you can just do a search. Swipe down towards the left for notifications. Swipe down on the right for your shortcuts. Looks like you have quite a few extras here that you can add. And then of course you'll be able to do a lot of stuff on here like most other Android phones, like split screen and floating windows. I think this does okay for the price. Obviously, if you're comparing this to a flagship phone, it's gonna feel slower in pretty much everything. But if you're just watching YouTube videos, watching movies, or doing some light gaming, I think it's gonna be fine on this phone. It's probably one of the more comfortable phones that I've used when gaming, just because it's so thin and lightweight. It's got the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 processor, and the one I have is 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, obviously, just looking at the benchmark results, this won't be the most powerful phone out there, but should still be good enough for most basic things. It's got a pretty large 5,520 milliamp hour battery, which is actually bigger than most flagship phones right now. Also has up to 45 watt fast charging. There's no wireless charging, but it does have 18 watt reverse charging. I ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness and it lasted about 11 hours, so pretty good compared to others that I've tested recently. Keep in mind that's at 120 Hz refresh rate. If you turn that down to 60 Hz, you should be able to get even longer, but of course there's a ton of variables that can affect battery life, but this should last a full day without any problems. Now there is no headphone jack on here, so you would have to use USB-C headphones or of course Bluetooth headphones, but it does have stereo sound with Dolby Atmos. Now the speakers aren't going to be the loudest out there, but still sound halfway decent in person, I think. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what to expect. Kind of interesting how they make it look like a 4-camera setup. It actually looks like 3 lenses here on the back besides the flash. I feel like this one down here is just for looks though. As far as cameras go, it's got a 108 megapixel main lens and 8 megapixel ultra wide there on the back. And then it's got a 20 megapixel front facing camera. Inside the camera app, you've got Ultra HD. If you swipe up, you've got some more options there. Then you have video, photo, portrait, and you've got Pro on here as well. You can shoot up to 4K resolution, 30 frames per second. It's not going to be the fastest shutter speed out there, but camera quality looks pretty decent here, at least in my studio lighting. Here's a few other samples just to give you an idea of what to expect. Overall, pretty decent photo and video quality. I think if you're looking for a more affordable device, this one is definitely worth checking out as long as you know what to expect from this phone. I know if you asked me one thing that could be improved on here, I think that's pretty easy. Just give it better performance because it already has most of everything else you would need. It feels great in the hand with the curved screen and the lighter weight. I think if you give this phone a little better performance, it's going to be one of the better options out there. But just as is, it's probably middle of the pack or just okay for the price. If you like phones, tablets, and other tech, I'm trying to get out 3 videos each week, so make sure to check back for those upcoming videos because I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on as usual. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.